Okay. So anxiety is very important. So I wanted to make sure I don't do this because it's also going to be useful for your regular your everyday life. A lot of times students study a lot. It's like your exam marks don't depend on how well you've studied always. It depends on how well you can perform at that moment. And a lot of people who have issues with anxiety are not able to perform so well. Okay. That's why I do these seminars on stress management, because a lot of times people know what they have to study but don't know about the how to study, and that's why they end up trying to remember everything, uh, try to mug like from the first word to the last word, not the correct ways of learning. They spend a lot of time and still are not able to produce it on the paper. They study very well. If you ask them, they do know very well, but sometimes so anxious that they start feeling nauseous. They fall sick before an exam. They can't give an exam despite being really hardworking and doing a lot. So um, it's important that you deal with it. The people who face anxiety, they may not go to college or work, complain repeatedly about physiological problems, get irritated when they are interacting with other people, spend a lot of time worrying about how they look. They may be extremely quiet, scared of asking questions, ask the same questions again and again, sweat excessively, um, or yeah, a lot of body movements, like they're constantly moving their legs or those kinds of things. They show anxiety. Okay, so what can you do? First step is that okay, just know that if your friend is showing some symptoms of anxiety, of any of these symptoms, you need to there may be a chance of self harm. Okay, a lot of times they in colleges students start wearing long sleeves because they are kind of doing self harm. Okay, or the first thing that you need to do is inform family. Okay, inform people around them. If you have a counselor in your school, important that you inform them, sensitize them about the seriousness of their issue, because sometimes when you start self harming, there is one theory which also says that when you start getting angry, start hitting or harming somebody else, then you just can't stop. You constantly do it, and sometimes it leads to even death. So important, meet mental health professional, discuss your concerns with their their family members. If you are having anxiety, make sure that you are speaking to someone and discussing it. Step two is you have to give your friend a patient hearing and understand that he's not behaving like this purposely. Okay, and he's not weak or bad or something's wrong with him or her. Just hold 1 second. Hmm. Nothing wrong with him or her. They're not doing this to irritate you. Just understand that they are suffering from a problem. They just need some compassionate listening. You don't have to you don't have to criticize, give advice, make statements. Third step is that they may feel shame or guilty. Okay, you can give them hope by making them realize that people are diagnosed with mental health. There are a lot of people. Okay, so you're not the only person. Mental illness is not their fault. And next is that once times get better, so it just passes. Like I had made a Diwali wish on my psychologist JP Insta page on this, that just like you feel that, oh my god, Diwali came and went also and I was so unhappy. In the same way, sadness, difficult times will come and then they will go. They are certainly curable. Most of the time people with mental health illnesses feel that, oh, we can't do anything about it, but definitely you can meet a professional, because just because you can't see it physically, you feel like, oh my god, there's nothing I can do, but definitely you can. The next step is you encourage them to, or take them to a psychotherapist or a counselor. Okay, that is very important. The next step is that identify the positive behaviors which can help them cope with mental health. For example, they like doing some things, hobbies, they like to read, they like to write. Encourage them to do those things. Very important. That will help them feel more in control of the situation of their life. It helps them feel good about themselves, secretes happy hormones. Okay, other simple techniques include using laughter, deep breathing, walking, running. Any physical exercise also leads to happy hormones, so they feel better. For anxiety and depression, seeking professional help is very, very crucial. You have to encourage your friends to do that. Certain behavioral issues, you may be addicted. Some people may get addicted to substances, okay, like alcohol, um, or drugs. But did you know that the same can also happen with certain activities, which is true. Some people just constantly need to engage in a certain behavior or an activity, which can basically, even even though it has a negative impact on their mental or physical health, they are addicted to doing that. Okay, they might impact their ability to do well in school. Such things include shopping addiction, internet addiction, excessive social media usage, exercise addiction. A lot of these things, these are behavioral addiction. You know that they are bad for you, like social media. Sometimes you end up spending your entire night, and next day you have to go to college or have to attend lectures, and still you can't stop it. So these are behavioral addictions. They're not considered to be okay. These behaviors are not considered to be a mental disorder according to DSM-5. Okay, but they can still be a cause of concern. When an individual gets addicted, they are not able to perform certain behaviors that they used to find rewarding and happy. So, for example, they are not able to stop it, like just like cigarettes, you need more and more of it regularly. So social media first just a little bit used to make you happy. I checked, I uploaded a picture on Facebook, I felt happy. Now you just can't stop, you have to do more and more and more. Second is that it adversely affects your important relationships, because you may not want to meet someone, you don't want to go somewhere. Okay, they experience negative consequences due to constantly engaging in such behaviors. Okay, because they may not do well in school, they may be, if you're working, removed out of job. So that can be like a problem. Or even something like compulsive shopping. People end up using credit cards, making 1-2 lakh rupees bill in 1 month, and they are earning say 15-20,000 or 30,000 in a month. May cause a lot of negative consequences. Sometimes people end up being in debts forever because of this. Okay. The next one is they have to sell that. I mean, they have to sell their house and 100 other things. Next is social and internet and social media usage. SHUT is the Service for the Healthy Use of Technology, started by NIMHANS in Bangalore. Okay, because there are a lot of technology related mental health issues which are happening in people nowadays. Internet has become essential. Now if you say that, oh, I'm not on WhatsApp, then you don't get updates about your classes and your homework and all of those important discussions. So you can't do without the internet. But the thing is that internet is not the problem. How we use it and for how long is very important. Okay, now if you, for example, something like gambling, gaming, pornography, these things take up a lot of time, and you can probably get badly addicted to internet because of that. And obviously, when you're constantly seeing violent games or something like that, that directly impacts your mind. You know, a lot of times, constantly watching too much porn at a young age may want you to do certain crime. You are just desperate. I have to find a girl, I have to, or I have to find a guy, I have to do this. So they do directly have an impact on your brain if you're doing too much of anything on the internet. Okay, even if you're constantly on social media, constantly doing upward comparisons, because social media, nobody will post their failures, nobody will post their sad days. You'll be like, oh my god, see, only they are having fun, I'm not having fun. Constantly impacts your brain, makes you feel negative, makes you feel worse about yourself. Somebody posts, oh, I achieved this, I achieved that. You feel, oh my god, I've not done anything. Things like that. Okay, most of the time people do not need professional help for their over dependence on internet, but the internet can lead to problems in life. Okay, regular problems. I mean, sometimes people end up spending, in fact there are some episodes online of kids who spend most of their day on the internet, and it causes a lot of physical health issues also. Right now most of us don't need professional help because we were not born with phones and technology. Phones and technology came as we were growing up, but for the coming generations, and plus we still can control ourselves. But it's important that you don't go so much excess that you have to seek help. what are the four C's? Are you using internet excessively? उसके लिए there are four C's. First, you have craving, an intense desire to use the internet. For example, if your light went off, your mobile is not charged, do you crave that, oh my god, or your mobile didn't work, do you crave that, oh my god, I have to see internet? Second is, do you have inability to control yourself? Like for example, right now there are family and guests and all who've come home, and still are you unable to control, even though everybody's talking to you here, are you unable to control that, oh my god, I have to check my WhatsApp and phone? Research shows that 150 times in a day we open and check our phones. Next is compulsion. You find it difficult to stop using the internet, um, because even though you know that you have spent too much time on it, you have an exam tomorrow, but you just can't stop. Is it like a compulsion? The next one is, how have you ever experienced any physical or psychological effects as a result of your excessive use of physical effects? A lot of times people start getting, constantly being on the net, they start having, sometimes even fits, okay, in fact seizures, if you're constantly on the net or something like that. Psychological effects obviously could also be related to, like, say, anxiety, stress. There is in fact anxiety related to, oh my god, I need to check the notifications. So do you feel those things? Very important. Now, what are the red flags that indicate overdependence? Include procrastination. You don't want to do your homework. कौन करेगा यार, पहले थोड़ा WhatsApp देख लेती हूँ. Boredom with your routine tasks. You don't want to wash vessels or any routine things that you do. Like early in the morning, you get up, instead of making your bed proper, you want to check WhatsApp. Instead of eating, you want to just see something on the internet. You have no sense of time. You started watching something. You open Instagram at say 11:30 in the night, thinking, okay, half an hour, I'll sleep, and it ends up being like 3:30. Okay, you have feelings of euphoria is like, oh my god, so much fun, I'm happy using the internet. You're unable to prioritize or keep your schedules, so you have to do a homework, you have to reach somewhere, if it's same college, but in the morning you were so busy in your bed, you opened your phone and checked WhatsApp and you got late. Fail to eat or eat excessively, being because you can't be away from your computer. Physical symptoms like dry eyes, backache. Poor personal hygiene, like you're constantly staying online, so you can't have a bath and all of those things. So if these are the red flags. If you're having any of these, then you can adopt measures. That is most important. Is maybe one thing even I have to personally do is I give my phone away to my mother, especially in my exams. I can't say that, okay, I know that when the phone is around, somebody calls, asks doubts, somebody sends something on WhatsApp, okay, they ask a question, what to do with this. You obviously get distracted. What I do personally is keep it away. Okay, so if you have any red flags, in fact, if you have any of these red flags, it's important, at least, so say while having dinner or something, keep your phone away compulsively for a few hours. Okay, the next is, yeah, so when a lot of first aid or red flags that we discussed for depression or anxiety or even internet, if we constantly keep ignoring them, it results in psychological problems. And you should not forget that psychological issues can only be treated by mental health professionals, not by any layman. Because it's counseling and psychological problems. Everybody thinks, "Arey, ye to mere ko pata hai." Anybody knows how to give advice. If you're feeling stressed, "Arey, to stress mat le." That's not an advice. What do you do about it? The only person who can do that is a mental health professional, because they are trained for 5-7 years, okay, minimum, to understand, okay, what are the symptoms. Is this anxiety, or is it stress, or is it nervousness, or is it fear? All of them look very simple, very similar. But what is it? What can you exactly do about it? All you as a student of psychology can do is be a bridge between the person and the mental health professional, and encourage the person to seek proper professional help. Okay, that brings an end to the chapter. So I hope it's clear. Anybody who has mental health issues, very important, reach out. Suicidal issues, no money, seek help for in these NGOs which provide free counseling. Otherwise, you can reach out to psychologists. Okay, I am in Mumbai. There are other psychologists who are around India. Now everything's online, but still important that you have to reach to people. Okay, anybody has any questions? Okay, think about them. No, right? Okay, we've already done this chapter in a lot of detail, so this is just a summary. All you have to do before an exam, make sure that at least you see the video on a double speed. So I think half an hour में एक chapter हो जाएगा total. Okay, so that brings an end to the 7th chapter.